Gettysburg National Military Park and Museum and Visitor Center is about 1 hour and 46 minutes from the DC metro area. So you can take the closest route, it's about 80 miles and a very simple north drive towards this museum. You cross over to Pennsylvania, and this is the major landmark there. Once you get there, there are a few ways you can um, plan your trip. So you enter the visitor center. These are the addresses, etc., given and the hours of operations. Please do check all these things before you head out there because certain days are off or there are certain days that are like closed early, etc. So make sure you check all these things on the NPS site. And the most important thing, what we noticed is you will actually go through three things. One is the Gettysburg Museum of the American Civil War, which we will show you today as well. The film, A New Birth of Freedom, narrated by Morgan Freeman, which is a movie that you will watch there. You cannot record there, so obviously there's no content about that here, but I wanted to show you that. And then the last thing is you will go through this cyclorama painting. That is something that you will see on this video, and I think you should definitely experience this if you go to this national park. So do check this out. Without further ado, let's jump right into the experience. The Battle of Gettysburg, one of America's greatest battle. French artist Paul Philippotto took brush to canvas and created the Battle of Gettysburg Cyclorama painting. He spent months on the battlefield researching the battle with veterans, a battlefield guide, and a photographer. It took Philippotto and a team of assistants more than a year to complete this painting that you see here. The result is a breathtaking canvas that measures 377 feet in circumference and 42 feet high, longer than a football field and as tall as a four-story structure. The Gettysburg Cyclorama oil painting, along with light and sound effects, immerses visitors in the fury of Pickett's charge during the third day of the Battle of Gettysburg.
At 1 o'clock, 150 Confederate cannon opened fire. Union guns thunder back. The massive bombardment continues for nearly 2 hours.
To say none grew pale and held their breath at what we saw would not be true. An overwhelming, resistless tide of an ocean of armed men sweeping upon us.
Slowly but steadily, we marched forward. I almost imagined it the wail of some loved one we had left at home.
The Confederates traversed 1,000 yards in parade ground order, closing ranks where Union artillery.
The Gettysburg Museum of the American Civil War, featuring items from one of the largest collections of Civil War relics in the world, is available for viewing during regular center hours. With 22,000 square feet of exhibit space, the museum features relics of the Battle of Gettysburg and personalities who served in the Civil War. Interactive exhibits and multimedia presentations that cover the conflict from beginning to end, as well as describe the Battle of Gettysburg and its terrible aftermath. The Battle of Gettysburg, a pivotal moment in the American Civil War, was a 3 day battle fought in and around Gettysburg, Pennsylvania from July 1st to July 3rd, 1863. It is considered as a turning point, with the Union victory ending Confederate General Robert E. Lee's invasion of the North and the shifting war's momentum. The battle was also the bloodiest of the war, resulting in over 50,000 casualties. The key aspects to this battle: the Confederate invasion. Lee's army of Northern Virginia invaded the North, hoping to achieve a decisive victory and potentially gain international recognition. The Union defense. The Union, led by General George Meade, initially retreated and then set up a defensive line on the south hills of Gettysburg. The 3 day fight. The battle saw intense fighting for 3 days, with both sides suffering heavy casualties, as you can see all these names in the background. Pickett's charge. On July 3rd, General Lee ordered a major assault on the Union center known as Pickett's Charge, which resulted in the disastrous loss for the Confederacy. The Union victory at Gettysburg crushed Lee's offensive and marked a turning point in the war, with the Confederacy never again achieving a similar level of success. President Lincoln's address. President Lincoln visited Gettysburg in November 1863 to dedicate the soldiers' National Cemetery and delivered the Gettysburg Address, a speech that later became a cornerstone of American political rhetoric. This was considered as the turning point, as it ended Lee's invasion and pushed the Union towards victory. As you walk around the city of Gettysburg, you will see a lot of historic sites and relics that have been preserved since the 1800s. After completing the museum, the film, and the Cyclorama experience, then you can actually go on a self-guided tour. The best companion for this is the NPS app. So as you can see here on the right side, you can pick and choose the locations of the battle for different days, and you can go around the whole actual battlefield with a self-guided audio tour. So this is actually a very good companion if you visit all the national parks. They've done a magnificent job covering all the historical inputs, all the details, and guide you to actually learn about the monuments. So do try this out. So if you select July 1st as an example, you can go to McPherson Bridge. You can check out the North Carolina monument, which I just showed you. You go through the wheat field, the Warfield Ridge, etc. As you can see, people are actually doing guided tours there, which is a very surreal experience if you're a history buff. So do come check this out and enjoy, and give me feedback and put in your comments below. Thank you so much for watching.